A few days passed after the treehouse repair. The boards held. The boys tested them every afternoon, climbing with careful confidence at first. Then, with the easy certainty children return to once fear loosens its grip, nothing dramatic happened. The diner opened each morning before the sun fully cleared the trees. Coffee brewed. The front door chimed. Boots tracked in dust and carried it out again. Margaret moved through the space the way she always had, steady, deliberate, efficient. But she was aware now, aware of Noah in a way she hadn't allowed herself to be before. He came in like always, not earlier, not later. He hung his hat on the same peg. He washed his hands without being told. He stepped behind the counter only when she nodded. No claiming, no assumption. He laughed at something Jack muttered under his breath. He listened when Oscar explained the rules to a board game. No one else fully understood. He wiped down the counter without being asked. It was ordinary. That was what unsettled her. Ordinary, not impressive, not grand, just consistent. She caught herself watching the way he measured flour, the way he paused before answering a question, the way he let silence sit without trying to fix it, not evaluating, observing. By afternoon, the sky had gone soft and pale. Humidity lingered, the kind that made the kitchen warmer than it needed to be. Jack lingered near the back door after closing. "You coming up?" he asked Noah. Noah glanced at Margaret. She didn't hesitate. "Go on." The three of them went toward the house. Margaret stayed behind a moment longer, hands resting on the counter, listening to the quiet hum of the cooling kitchen. It felt different lately, less precarious, less like something she was holding alone. That evening, the boys begged for game. The house still carried the faint scent of sawdust from the treehouse repair. Warm air pressed against the windows. The oven had been on too long. The kitchen held heat in its walls, the way old houses do, refusing to let it go. Jack set the board on the kitchen table with exaggerated seriousness. Oscar lined up the pieces with intense concentration, adjusting them until each square felt correct. Noah took the chair without ceremony. Margaret poured iced tea into thick glasses. Condensation gathered immediately. Sweat traced the outside of the glass and left small rings on the wood. They played. Jack pretended indifference when he lost. Oscar counted carefully, finger touching each square. 1, 2, 3. He paused at 14. Margaret felt her body go still without meaning to. Her hands stilled over the pitcher. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. He looked up, surprised at himself. Noah grinned. Jack smirked like it had been obvious all along. Margaret exhaled slowly. Something eased in her chest that she hadn't known was tight. They played another round. The game stretched longer than it needed to. No one rushed. Laughter rose and fell. A chair scraped. A piece clattered to the floor and was retrieved with solemn care. Outside, evening deepened. The sky went from gold to blue to indigo. Crickets began in the grass. When the game ended, the boys carried the board to their room. Soft voices drifted down the hall. Water ran briefly. A cupboard door shut. A bed frame creaked. Margaret stood at the sink. The house felt full. Warm, almost too warm. "It's warm in here," she said. "It is." She dried her hands on a dish towel. "Tea on the porch." He nodded. They stepped outside. The night air met them with relief. Cooler, cleaner, crickets steady in the grass, fireflies lifting and settling in slow pulses across the yard. An owl called once from somewhere beyond the trees. The porch boards creaked under their weight. The swing moved with a low, rhythmic groan of chain as they sat. She handed him his glass. For a while they said nothing. The yard lay open before them. The treehouse dark now, its repaired boards catching faint starlight. The ground beneath it looked solid. "The boys had a good night," she said. They did. Oscar counted to 20 by himself. He worked hard at it. She nodded. He did. The swing drifted forward and back. A soft arc, then return. Her hand rested on the wooden slat between them. The swing shifted. Their hands brushed. She left hers there. The contact was small, almost accidental, almost not. A breath passed. She became aware of the warmth of his skin, of the slow movement of the swing, of the steady sound of crickets stitching the dark together. She became aware of herself, of what it meant to leave her hand where it was. She began to draw her hand back, not in regret, in vulnerability. Noah turned his hand over. His fingers found hers. He closed them gently, not gripping, not claiming, agreeing. His thumb settled once. Still, she looked at him. He wasn't smiling. He wasn't searching her face. He was simply there, present. She felt the choice in that. Then she leaned, just slightly. A shift of weight, a small surrender of space. He met her in the middle. No arm around her. No pull. Just shoulder against shoulder. Hands joined between them. "It's cooler out here," she said. "It is." The porch swing continued its slow rhythm. The owl called again. Fireflies flickered at the edge of the yard. She did not move away. She did not fill the silence. She sat with him. The heat of the kitchen faded from her skin. The air cooled against her arms. The house behind them held the boys, steady breathing. The treehouse stood repaired. The yard lay quiet. For the first time in a long while, the future did not feel like something she had to brace against. It felt like something she might step toward. And the swing kept moving.